Still cannot get used to them lights.
They're so bright.
Yes. Welcome to the WK Burnout Studio. I'm Christina.
And I'm Dustin.
Alan, behind the scenes. We're just waiting for him to get his life together.
Yeah.
We've been waiting. But anyways, Dustin.
Yes.
So we were visiting because recently we have encountered that a couple people are losing their keys.
No way. Nobody does that.
And the question that pops in my mind when they're like, what do I do?
That's a really good question.
Yeah. Because we work at a dealership, so I would just call
the dealership.
Somebody at the dealership.
Yeah, right.
But that's not always an option.
No.
So let's let them know, what would they do? What would should someone do if they lose their keys?
Okay.
Step one.
Step one. Are they really lost, or did you just lock them in the car?
Right.
That's a pretty important step to cross.
Yes.
You know, you got to figure that out, because that changes your whole process a whole bunch. If they're locked in the car, you can even see them in there or something. I mean, the options are really wide open and pretty easy.
If you know somebody who knows how to unlock.
Or if you have a phone so that you can call a OnStar, if you are an active OnStar subscriber.
Yep.
If you're not, don't worry, call the tow guy. Pretty much any tow outfit. And those, they're all like 24 hours a day, of course, but they can come and do a lockout, you know, and get in your car for you. So then you've got your key, you're good to go.
Yep.
Those aren't that it's not like a $500 deal for him to come. It might seem like it should be because you're in, you know, a parking garage downtown Kansas City at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
But it's usually like $30 or $40 or something. You know,
and if they have roadside assistance, it may not be anything out of pocket.
Yeah. And you have roadside assistance that goes with your factory powertrain warranty on on all your new cars. So you might have that type of coverage and you don't even know it. So try that first, check. Right?
Yep.
Keys in the car, you're in, good.
Okay.
Scenario A, covered.
Got it.
Scenario B, things are not looking too good because there's a hole in your coat pocket and the key definitely through that.
You knew you were supposed to get that coat replaced a long time ago.
Wore that coat.
Your wife told you.
Yeah, she told you. You didn't listen though. I'm going to wear my gray coat tonight. Why? Because I like gray. Yeah.
Goes with my boots.
That goes with my boots. That's what you get. Okay. So you've lost the key. Go look for it a little bit. They're big. Keys and fobs are pretty big. Usually people don't like just pick them up and like, hey, a key, what's it going to do for them? You know? So look, because you're going to 20, 30 minutes of actual looking could, save you some scratch.
Yeah.
But let's say it's gone.
Okay.
I have no key.
No key.
My spare key is 3 hours away, right? Or it doesn't exist either.
Okay.
That's another little add-in to the scenario. Let's just say the spare key just doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are your options? We would think the initial thing is we would be like, oh, we got to call the dealership, get, Phil to make us a key. And then we have to program it. So, oh no.
Have to get the vehicle there somehow.
Even for us, that idea lines up to, we have to get the vehicle towed to the dealership.
Yep.
Buy a key, get it programmed. None of this is doing us any good at 12:30 at night in the parking garage and, out of town.
Right.
Crap. Okay. You've thought about the tow guy. The tow guy can come and get in, but he's like, I don't have any keys. What are you talking about? Okay. Here's the good news. Locksmiths. Okay.
Which is,
I know.
I had no idea.
We totally thought about this because you think of a locksmith and he's the guy that comes and rekeys the door. They do commercial stuff, they the big safes and things like that. And they pick locks, right? And they make these, keys and everything. Well, I mean, locksmiths are a evolving industry and they've evolved as they should into the key programming sector, right? So they've got all these pieces of equipment, not only to cut the certain keys for different makes and models, but they'll have the computers there so they can program. So not only do they get you in your keyless entry car with your push button start, it'll work just like the key that you had. So you're like super good to go. Yeah.
See, I had no idea. Like when we were talking about this, when you mentioned locksmith, I'm like, well, yeah, if I was driving my grandma's 1979.
I know, right? Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But Buick Riviera. But I did not realize that, a locksmith has that capability.
Yeah, I kind of learned all this because we met this guy, Brandon, B's Lock and Key out of Columbia, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he does. He does all the commercial residential stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but he and his employee, they have vans with all the equipment and they go to individuals in need.
Right.
Or to dealerships. Okay. For example, we were talking about this when we have a Land Rover or a Volkswagen or something like that on the
mm-hmm.
lot that was traded in and it only has one key.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everybody gets 2 keys at WK.
Yes.
Newer used car, you get 2 keys.
Yes.
That's important, right?
Absolutely.
We would have to take the car to Columbia or Kansas City to that manufacturer dealership
mm-hmm.
to get a key made and
a second
programmed.
key made. Yeah, not made. Mm-hmm.
Mad, yeah, that. So to circumvent that, we call on Brandon at B's Lock and Key, and he
mm-hmm.
comes to our dealership every week, and just any keys that we need made for off-brand
mm-hmm.
makes and models of cars, he can make there on the spot.
Makes it way
It's
easier.
like the best thing ever.
Yes.
And then finding out, how he is, it's a small business, and just
mm-hmm.
supporting, stuff like that is really big to us.
Absolutely.
But finding out how much business he does for individuals that are in a pinch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is really important for people to know. And I would venture to say, although, Brandon with B's Lock and Key is our guy,
mm-hmm.
Pretty much anywhere you're at, you should be able to find a locksmith that has branched out and expanded to where they have the ability to do all this, programming stuff on late model vehicle key fobs and everything. I mean, he stocks all the stuff. So it's not mm-hmm. just like it's his specialty. He has a van full of
mm-hmm.
key fobs.
Mm-hmm.
So many people don't know about this.
Yeah.
So many people don't even think it's possible, that a lot of us don't even know it's possible until I'm like, hey, have you met Brandon? They're like, what's he do? Whoa, really? He could do that?
Yeah.
He can.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And that's just blew my mind. Because again, you think of locksmith and you're like, no, I have a 2018 or a 2022,
right?
whatever.
I don't even see the key. Right. I see a piece of plastic. That does not make you think locksmith.
Not at all.
I mean, this is our guidance.
Mm-hmm.
This is the thing that could save your bacon.
Yeah.
And save you from a 4-stage, process of getting your
mm-hmm.
that really has made the longest night ever. If you started at 12:30, you got to get it to the dealership, then you got to get home still, then get another
mm-hmm.
ar to get back to the dealership to get your stuff done.
To get your vehicle. If they have that key,
if they have it in stock.
In stock. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is important information to share with all your loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
Kids especially need to know this process. Although it'd be really, you'd feel great as a parent if your kid called you. They're away at college. They called you at 2 a.m. Oh, they need dad. Hey, honey, what's going on? I locked my key in my car. Man, it would have been way better if I would have just taught you this beforehand so you could handle it all on your own, right?
Here's your number that you need.
Here's your number.
Good
Here's
night.
the person you call. If your friend has this problem too, you don't have to call me. You just call this guy. And he can do it for them too.
Yeah.
So
nope. I would have ever thought.
It's such important information to have and to know how that stuff works. Really, that's this spans, programmable keys. I have a 97 Buick Skylark that has a transponder key. My 95 Corsica had a transponder key.
Yeah. So it's not just, can't just walk into Ace Hardware and have a key cut.
Oh, you could. And it would unlock the door and it would turn the ignition and it will start the car for 2 seconds and it'll shut off because it doesn't have the security chip in it.
Got it.
So lots of different makes and models, lots of varying stuff. I know for my 78 pickup, I can go to the hardware store and cut a key. Outside of that, I'm like, better look at a few things first because it might not actually work. Getting you into the car is one thing, but if you really think about it, if you just need to get in the car, you might be easier off just having the tow company guy come and do a lockout for $30 or $40.
Right. Yeah.
I hope their prices haven't gone up a lot. I mean, it's a valuable service. So if it's $50, it's still worth it.
Yeah. Well, and definitely. And just depends on what area you're in. But also something to keep in mind is you will have to show proof of ownership.
Oh, yeah.
So, of course, your, ID and then proof of registration. That way, not just anybody is gaining a key to your vehicle.
It's true. You would want the facilitator of this key to do the same for you if it was somebody that wasn't you standing by your car trying to get a key made for it.
Yeah. And
so
it can definitely be overwhelming because you're just like, oh, this is such an inconvenience of losing my key, number one, and then finding out who I'm supposed to call, if I lose my key because I don't have a spare, or, oh, we couldn't find the spare. So this is the spare, this is the spare. But definitely, also remember, not only losing the key, who do you call? Have your registration and ID.
And, thinking of as a person who doesn't have a business that does this, just brainstorming a little bit. Okay, so your registration's probably in the glove box of the car that you're trying to get in.
Yep.
So, usually, and I would say you probably have a good chance that the locksmith person would be like, well, we'll just look at that when we get into the car.
Right. Yeah.
But maybe something that to think about that could keep you moving in the right direction is, your proof of insurance.
Yeah.
It's going to have your name and the VIN number of the car on it.
A lot of people have that on their app.
Yeah. You can get to that from your app or even in your email. I don't know of any insurance you could get where they don't email you a copy at least, right? So you probably got it somewhere.
Yep.
So that might help move you in the right direction on getting into your car, getting a key made for your car too.
Yeah.
So
lots of steps, and it can be overwhelming. And the hope is that you listen to this and you think, oh, good information. Let me go ahead and find out.
Locksmith, right? Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do I have roadside assistance? Do I have a spare key? And what are the numbers? Put those in your phone or in your, I say your glove box, but I guess you lock it. But just have that information available. So you're not trying to find out, oh, does my insurance have roadside assistance?
Yeah. They used to put the little
12:01 a.m.
Right.
I guess you can call and find out, but
they used to put little stickers on the window. Remember these on the window of the car in the back, like quarter window? It would have 1-800-CHEV help or something. And that was Chevy's roadside assistance. And they'd have them they did that all through the 90s, put the roadside assistance number on the outside of the car.
Alan, does your truck have the sticker?
No, that deteriorated years ago, fell off, turned to dust.
I was just asking.
She's just asking.
Just wanted to, keep you in the conversation. But I think it's great information.
Yeah, I think it's really valuable to share with your loved ones and people that could potentially call you in the middle of the night and be like, "What do I do?" Well, put off that late night phone call by just going ahead and giving the information.
Yeah. Well, and say it's not midnight. It's not, it's 2:00 in the afternoon and you're going out because you have a late lunch and you go out and you've lost your car, your vehicle keys. You can, have your vehicle towed into the dealer. That is an option as well.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to also take into consideration, which I did not think of this until doing a little research, is the dealership may not have that specific key fob or that key transmitter in stock. So if they have to order it, it may be a day, 24, 48 hours before they have that to program it to be able to get your vehicle back to you.
So maybe the good steps would be if you are going to take that route, is to call the dealership with the VIN number to your car.
Yep.
And that way they could check and make sure they have that transmitter available. I think if you're in a metro area, there's 9 Honda dealerships in the Kansas City metro, right? So you find the one that has, and that's the one you get towed to.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And save you a little step. So locksmith, roadside assistance, OnStar.
Yeah.
If you have OnStar.
That would have solved all the problems almost. Except for losing the key. Yes. They get you in the car. If you've lost the key completely, you're still going to need that locksmith.
Still going to need the locksmith. Or your local dealership.
Yeah.
So those are your main things. You lose your key, make sure it's not in the vehicle.
Yeah.
Then start with locksmith.
Yeah.
See if they're available.
It's just kind of get it into your head that it's not just all about, picking a safe lock or something. These guys are businessmen and they figured out how to grow with the rest of the needs of the people.
All the people.
We need
solving
keys.
problems.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I learned something new today. Locksmith.
Yeah. Locksmith.
They are growing. They're not just from 1997.
Yeah. They're not like shoe cobblers.
Yeah. What did you say the other day? Some hen? I don't know. We won't talk.
Sitting hen.
Sitting hen. Yeah, I'm not sure.
She still doesn't know.
I don't know.
That's definitely not you, Christina.
Anyways, we appreciate, your guys' support. There's a hair in my eye or my something. It's driving me crazy. Anyways, sorry. We appreciate your all's support. If you found this informative and entertaining, please like, share, subscribe, and definitely share, because you never know if someone needs this. Your neighbor may need this information. And anything you see on Facebook is interesting. So
right. Yeah. It'll only help.
Yeah. So anyways, so we will cruise on by and pick you up next week.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
This has been a WK Burnouts production.